A few summers ago, one of my neighbors walked over while I was harvesting tomatoes. He leaned against the fence, looked at my plants for a long moment, and said something I still remember clearly. "How are your tomato plants always so full?" I laughed a little when he said it because for years they weren't. There was a time when my tomato harvests were honestly disappointing. The plants looked healthy enough at first, big leaves, tall vines, plenty of flowers, but when harvest season arrived, I'd end up with only a handful of tomatoes, small fruit, slow growth, long empty stretches of vine with barely anything hanging from them. And every year I blamed myself. Maybe I wasn't fertilizing enough. Maybe I needed better soil. Maybe I needed to water more. But eventually I realized something surprising. The gardeners who consistently grew the biggest tomato harvests weren't always working harder. They were planting smarter. An older gardener told me something that completely changed the way I looked at vegetable gardening. He said, "Tomatoes grow better when they have good neighbors." At first, I thought he simply meant spacing, but he was talking about companion planting. And once I started planting the right companions beside my tomatoes, everything slowly began to change. The plants looked healthier, the soil stayed moist longer, the flowers attracted more bees, and somehow the garden began producing more tomatoes than it had in years. Today, I want to share a few of the companion plants that made the biggest difference in my own garden, especially for growing stronger tomato plants and bigger harvests. And honestly, some of them may surprise you. The first companion plant I always recommend is basil. Now, most people already know tomatoes and basil belong together in the kitchen, but they also work beautifully together in the garden. The first time I planted basil between my tomato plants, I mostly did it because I liked the smell. On warm summer mornings, brushing past fresh basil leaves while picking tomatoes somehow makes the whole garden feel like summer itself. But after a while, I noticed something else too. The garden became busier. Bees visited constantly. Tiny pollinators moved between the basil flowers and the tomato blossoms all morning long, and over time I started seeing fuller tomato clusters and healthier growth. Now, science still debates exactly how much basil directly improves tomato production, but many gardeners swear by the combination, and honestly, after growing them together for years now, I understand why. Some plants simply seem happier beside each other. Another companion plant that completely changed my tomato beds was lettuce. And this one surprised me the most because for years I thought lettuce and tomatoes had no business growing together. Tomatoes grow tall and heavy in the summer heat. Lettuce usually struggles once temperatures rise. But then one season, I planted lettuce beneath my tomato plants almost by accident. And something wonderful happened. The tomato plants provided afternoon shade for the lettuce, and the lettuce covered the soil beneath the tomatoes like a living blanket. The ground stayed cooler, the soil held moisture longer, and during hot afternoons, the tomato roots seemed far less stressed. As we get older, one of the hardest parts of summer gardening becomes the heat, not just for us, for the plants too. And sometimes small changes that help the soil stay cooler can make a bigger difference than people realize. That year, my tomatoes stayed productive much longer into the season, and honestly, the garden itself looked beautiful. Layers of green everywhere, tomatoes above, lettuce below, everything working together instead of competing. Another plant I've grown to appreciate more every year is beans. Now, when most people think about tomato companions, beans usually aren't the first plant that comes to mind. But old gardeners have paired beans with vegetables for generations, and part of the reason comes down to the soil itself. Beans are often associated with helping improve soil health and supporting beneficial soil biology around nearby plants. In simple terms, they help create healthier garden conditions. A few summers ago, I planted rows of bush beans near one side of my tomato bed, and what I noticed wasn't just healthier tomatoes. The entire area seemed more alive. The soil stayed softer, the plants stayed greener, and harvest season felt more generous somehow. That's one thing I've learned after many years of gardening. Healthy gardens usually don't happen because of one miracle product. They happen because many small things start working together, and companion planting is part of that balance. Now, if there's one flower I wish I had started growing earlier, beside tomatoes, it's borage. Borage produces beautiful little blue flowers that bees absolutely adore. The first year I planted it, I remember sitting outside one morning with coffee and simply watching the pollinators move through the garden. Bee after bee visited those flowers nonstop, and nearby the tomato blossoms seemed more active too. One thing many gardeners forget is this: tomatoes need pollinator movement to produce heavily. The more pollinator activity around the garden, the better your chances of fuller fruit production. And beyond that, borage simply makes the garden feel cheerful. As we grow older, I think many of us stop gardening only for productivity. We start gardening for peace, too, for quiet mornings, for color, for the feeling of life moving gently around us. And flowers like borage bring that feeling into the garden in a very special way. One final companion plant I've really come to appreciate is green onions. Not because they're flashy, not because they grow huge, but because they fit almost anywhere. You can tuck them between tomato plants, along pathways, near raised bed edges, almost anywhere you have a little extra space. And good gardens often work that way. Not through perfection, but through thoughtful layering. That's something older gardeners understood very well. They didn't always separate flowers from vegetables or herbs from tomatoes. Everything grew together. And somehow, those gardens often felt healthier than many modern gardens do today. Maybe because nature rarely grows in neat, isolated rows. Everything supports something else. One plant shades the soil, another attracts bees, another improves the ground, another fills empty spaces, and together the whole garden becomes stronger. Honestly, I think that's one of the reasons gardening means more to us as we age. It reminds us that growth rarely happens alone, not in gardens, not in life. The strongest things usually grow in good company. So if your tomato harvests haven't been what you hoped for lately, maybe don't immediately reach for more fertilizer. Sometimes the answer is simpler than that. Sometimes your tomatoes just need better neighbors. And maybe this summer, a few companion plants will change your garden the same way they changed mine. If this video brought back a few good gardening memories, don't forget to subscribe and spend another peaceful growing season with us here on the channel. And take a look at the next video on your screen now, because it may help you avoid one of the biggest tomato growing mistakes gardeners make every summer.